That's a tough question. How long have I been doing this for? I think it's somewhere around 7 or 8 years, but I haven't really been counting. I've done, I don't know, 50 or 60 cuddle parties in that time, and have had the opportunity to do them at different places around the U.S. and in Europe.
Amazing. Thank you. Madeline, how about you?
Well, let's see. So you're talking about being a certified cuddle party facilitator in specific.
Yes.
I discovered Cuddle Parties in 2008, and I think I officially became certified as a facilitator in 2010. Yes, and it's been an amazing journey since then.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So how is this recording going to go? Just to give you sort of a background as to what to expect, we're going to share with you some of the main problems that a lot of facilitators have, and to give you sort of the solutions and some tools that you can take with you to put in your back pocket. And if you feel called and this invites you to join us, we'd love to have you. This is more about educating you in terms of some of the tools that a facilitator needs to have to be able to hold space. And whether it's your own sort of workshop or facilitation that you do, or you join and become a certified cuddle party facilitator, it works in any field that you're in as a facilitator. So to start it off, the first problem that generally we see people having is you have a desire to make an impact or a difference, but don't have the tools to do that. So do you have a story or anecdote you can share with our viewers as to how they can go about that?
I've got a story I'd like to share around that. Back in the pre-Cuddle Party days, I had started with Course in Miracles. Many of you have probably heard of that, and got a little booklet by Gerald Jampolsky called Love is Letting Go of Fear. And reading through that, I had this sort of life-changing experience and decided everyone should have this experience too. So I went to the local bookstore and ordered a dozen copies and put together some flyers and distributed them around, and went to a yoga studio and arranged to have the space on a Sunday night. And we all got over there, and all the people in the room, nothing. I had nothing whatsoever. I had no idea what I was doing. We read a little bit and walked around, but it was a great idea that I had for wanting to share, but I didn't know how to transfer my enthusiasm into something that was cognitive and that worked for people.
Yeah, well said. Absolutely. Yeah. Transferring that knowledge over. I love that. Madeline, do you have a thought?
Well, yeah. In fact, I remember, it's a little dramatic, but at one point in my life, pre-Cuddle Party, I had a strong sense of inner calling. That was like, there's something I need to be doing, and this passion about being the change I wanted to see in the world. And I had all of this like energy and passion, and I had, walked down a bunch of different paths, but not really like found the thing. And I remember I was in the bathtub one night, just sort of in this sense of despair, like I'm wasting my life. Like I have all this talent and this ability and I'm not channeling it anywhere. And, well, I guess the interesting thing about that is suddenly this thought came into my head that, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing because, it didn't exist yet. It wasn't really out there. It wasn't on any of those predefined paths, like the college degree that I had gotten, or I did a lot of theater arts, but that everything was building towards something. And it's interesting because that was a couple years before I discovered Cuddle Party. And when I discovered Cuddle Party, I guess in hindsight, I sort of looked back and went on to like co-found Cuddlist, and like I had this sense of something that was out there for me, and I just needed to kind of have faith and wait until I found it.
Amazing.
Well, and that's finding it is what happened with me too, with discovering Cuddle Party and the training to become a facilitator leaves you with a sort of turnkey operation. Not only do you learn to become a facilitator, but then you have a script that you don't have to reinvent it every time for yourself. And that's one of the things that I found that was really supportive for me when I was training to become a facilitator. And what I see in people now is, you got the great idea. You've done the, 8 days of training in some exotic island, and then you're home and it's like, okay, how do I translate this into something that I can give to somebody else? Cuddle Party has a script, and it is the bridge between the great ideas and the cognitive experience for others.
Yeah.
And this is so key to facilitating this. And that's exactly what Cuddle Party gave me, is this structure that was a vehicle that I could use to channel all of that passion and make it available and accessible for people. And that's pretty magical.
Yeah, the vehicle supports them in making it easier for them to be able to facilitate. Yeah. Is there sort of what is it, some tool or exercise that we teach in, whether it's in our facilitation training program or Cuddle Party, that we can sort of like share with our viewers as to, so they can take and put in their back pocket for themselves? Is there something that we can offer them?
Well, it's a thing that I learned in a concrete way through attending Cuddle Parties. So, as a participant, and that's where my journey started, as a participant, and I had that kept expanding, that experience as a participant, that it expanded into doing the training of being a facilitator, and that expanded into being on the board member, and that expanded into being a trainer of other facilitators, and that expanded into, like teaching it one-on-one. So that was my experience. And what I learned at Cuddle Party that led all of that, and the skill that enabled me to do that, was discerning the embodied yes and no. And actually practicing that and applying it in my life and trusting it through gathering the data and doing that. So the yes-no game, I think, is a great tool for learning that. Would you like me to explain it now, Solomon?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do a demo for them, or practice it so they can actually do it.
All right. So let's see. Both of you are going to take turns making me offers and requests. And I am going to say no to all of them. So we'll just do that for just back and forth a couple times.
Great.
All right.
May I stroke your hair?
No.
May I smell your roses?
No.
May I rub your hands?
No.
Can I give you a foot rub?
No.
May I give you a back massage?
No. Okay, stop. All right, we're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to say yes to everything. So go ahead and mix it up, use your imagination, ask for anything, and I'm going to say yes to all of it.
Can I pluck your eyebrows?
No. I mean.
Look at you knew the instinct.
Rule number 1, enjoy your mistakes.
Yeah.
So, yes.
May I pinch your cheeks really hard?
Yes.
May I kiss you on the forehead?
Yes.
May I gently stroke your hair?
Yes. All right.
May
So thank you. And this is, I think, just to demonstrate for, oh, I cut you off.
I'll save it.
uh, it's so that embodied, noticing the subtle differences in myself when I say yes to something I'm a no to, or when I say no to something I'm a yes to, and feeling the incongruency in my body, and likewise feeling the congruency, knowing when what a full-bodied no feels like, um, and a full-bodied yes. And so that's a skill that the workshop Cuddle Party really invites and encourages us and our participants into doing. And it's something that I have been able to take into the rest of my life, to really trust my gut when it comes to my yes and no.
Thank you. Yeah. Adam, do you want to add anything to that?
I just want to say one thing that I noticed was with the immediate no that came from plucking eyebrows, how your body was fully involved in that, and I also noticed at other times you really pondering the question, like, am I a yes? Am I? Even though you were going to say yes or no, I could see that sort of settle on you, and appreciated the thoughtfulness that went into that.
So Adam is demonstrating another benefit of this, right? Being congruent with our yes and no, and also tuning in to people and being able to see when, how they're responding and things, and then basing our responses on that, if that makes sense. Being more tuned in to other people who may be congruent or incongruent, and letting that guide us.